John Carpenter's The Thing is the greatest sci-fi horror film of all time. There, I said it. Yeah, I know I'm going to get hateful comments, but we're not putting the big one on this list. It doesn't count, okay? No leprechaun in space. That is a cheat code and you know it. Released in 1982 and just over a month before I was born, it was a remake of the 1951 film The Thing from Another World, which starred one of my father's favorite actors as the titular character, James Arness of Gunsmoke fame.
Well, this is Dodge, Fergus. And gunmen with big reputations come and go a lot here. Mostly they go.
The Thing from Another World was itself an adaptation of the 1938 novella Who Goes There by John W. Campbell Jr. The 1951 film was a box office success upon release, outperforming all other science fiction films the same year. That's no small feat either, as that year also saw the release of classics The Day the Earth Stood Still and When Worlds Collide. Unfortunately for John Carpenter, his version of The Thing wasn't nearly as well received upon its initial release. The Thing earned $3.1 million during its opening weekend, finishing 8th behind another horror classic, the much family-friendlier Poltergeist. It earned $19.6 million during its original run, against a budget of around $15 million. Though heralded as a genre standard today, upon release it was, well, just kinda there. While movie fans were somewhat neutral to the film, most film critics panned it. Cinefantastique even put The Thing on its cover with the question, "Is this the most hated movie of all time?" Now, calling it the worst film of all time may seem a little harsh, but you have to remember that Adam Sandler didn't release Jack and Jill until 2011. They had to hate something. Roger Ebert, a film critic I greatly admire, called The Thing a great barf bag movie, and in his review wrote, "Because this material has been done before, and better, especially in the original The Thing and in Alien, there's no need to see this version unless you are interested in what the thing might look like while starting from anonymous greasy organs extruding giant crab legs and transmuting itself into a dog." Amazingly, I'll bet that thousands, if not millions, of moviegoers are interested in seeing just that. Yes, I was. And I've seen it so many times at this point that the sight of a man's head ripping off of its own body, sprouting spider legs and crawling away no longer affects me. I'm not well. So, is The Thing just an excuse to see special effects creator Rob Bottin's amazing creature designs? Is it just a gore fest, all style and no substance? Just what is The Thing about?
Let's go, Bennings. I gotta get some sleep.
The Thing tells the story of an American research station in the Antarctic who runs afoul of an alien life form who can disguise itself as a copy of anyone it comes into contact with.
My God, what was happening to it?
I think if it had more time to finish, it would have looked and sounded and acted just like Bennings.
I don't know what you're saying.
That was one of those things out there, trying to imitate him, Gary.
Bodies start to pile up and the survivors of the station begin to suspect each other of being the monster. They realize that if it escapes into a more populated area, it could literally bring about the end of the world, and the film becomes a desperate race to figure out who isn't who they say they are. It has an all-star cast that includes Kurt Russell, Keith David, T.K. Carter, and even Wilford Brimley as the paranoid and dangerous Blair. Look, I know what you're thinking, and no, we're not going to put any diabetes jokes in here. We want this series to be taken seriously. It was directed by the legendary John Carpenter of Halloween fame as part of his Apocalypse trilogy, which also included two other cult classics, 1987's Prince of Darkness and 1994's In the Mouth of Madness. Though it had a disappointing reception upon release, The Thing has become one of the most beloved entries in the horror genre. Its mixture of science fiction, horror, special effects, paranoia, hopelessness, direction, and nail-biting tension has made it the go-to for those who really want to make sure that their friends and significant others can't sleep at night. Now, they did put out a sequel to The Thing a number of years later called The Thing, which served as a prequel to this film, and despite its overuse of CG effects instead of practical effects, I thought it was good. It's not a classic by any means. I didn't even really like it the first time I saw it, but after watching it again and again over a number of times, I came to appreciate it more. One of the really cool things is that the ending of that film flows right into the beginning of this film, so you can watch it as one giant block and get the whole story in one setting if you want to. The Thing also put out a number of video games, board games. It's a very rich franchise for sci-fi horror fans and well worth checking out, and to me, it's one of the best examples of why 80s horror will always be superior. Hey guys, I want to thank you for checking out this video. It's part of a series that we'll be doing going forward of classic horror films. And next week, we've got the best Christmas movie of all time. Don't argue with me. Gremlins. Until then, you can check us out at Podzilla1985.com or join us live every week at Facebook.com/Podzilla1985.